Modern-day way to access ancient information, manuscripts, images, all through the click of a mouse. The National Library in Jerusalem has launched a massive online archive that will make thousands of Hebrew and Jewish manuscripts accessible to everyone. I-24 culture reporter Maya Margit has more.
Building a bridge across time and connecting worlds. Israel's National Library in Jerusalem has launched the world's biggest collection of Jewish and Hebrew manuscripts, all available at the click of a button on a new website called Ktiv, Hebrew for the written word, fulfilling a dream that goes back almost to the birth of the State of Israel.
In 1950, Israel's first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, had a vision which became a reality. We must gather all Hebrew manuscripts from across the world and bring them here to the State of Israel.
The Ktiv website features tens of thousands of digitized manuscripts, found scattered across dozens of countries, prayer books, biblical texts, literature, even scientific writings. For decades, researchers traveled the world, collected them, and scanned them. Now, with the latest technology, millions of high-resolution images are available for everyone to see.
Today, the National Library of Israel holds originals or images on microfilm of about 85% of all known Hebrew manuscripts.
Each manuscript in the database is a piece of history, and some have incredible stories, like the Catalan Mahzor. Written and illustrated in the 13th century, the Jews of Catalonia, Spain, used this prayer book on the high holidays. But after the Jews were expelled from Spain in 1492, this manuscript was shipped out and eventually landed in Germany. When World War II broke out, it was rescued from the Nazis, brought to the US, and, eventually, donated to Israel's National Library.
Any manuscript enables you to hold a piece of history in your hands. It's a way of touching, reaching into history, and connecting with my forefathers.
The National Library hopes to complete the monumental task of digitizing all of the world's Jewish manuscripts within 5 years, connecting the world in which the manuscripts were written to today's digital age. Maya Margit, I-24 News.
It's I love these kinds of stories, and it's really, we were just talking about the changing times, like to think about like how cool that something that you'd think would be lost in history is now like, boom, literally we could do it from our computer here.
That's right, and what's very interesting about this is that some of these manuscripts are hundreds and hundreds of years old, and many of them were separated into several parts across the world, scattered in different countries, and some of them are going to be reunited for the first time digitally, so people can look through everything, and they're still working on this database. It's about 53% of all the manuscripts, all known Hebrew and Jewish manuscripts that have been so far uploaded, but it's a monumental task.
So, I mean, it literally, does it go back as far as like, the time of Maimonides, and like it goes back to the Renaissance, even like
medieval times. That's right. A lot of medieval manuscripts were unfortunately burned, through many different for many different reasons, religious reasons mostly.
There's a lot of religious reasons throughout time why we can't figure it out yet, right?
But yeah, this is a really big story, and I want to say that it's tied to the birth of the State of Israel, because it's Israel's first Prime Minister, David Ben-Gurion, who launched this project. He's the one who decided in 1950 that he wants to bring in all the Hebrew writings and manuscripts, handwritten manuscripts, not printed ones, and bring them to the land of Israel and digitize them and make them accessible. Initially, of course, before we had the digital era, they used microfilm.
This is what I'm saying. Like he had vision all of these years ago. I mean, it's really amazing, and I imagine like soon, we'll really be able to use it more. It's still in the development stages, even though it's available now, right?
They're still trying to add like a searching technology, tags within the text so that you can search the text themselves. It's a really big thing. There's millions of images, maybe 4.5 million images so far. So there's a lot of work left for them to do, and they say that it's going to take another 5 years maybe.
Which is fine, and it's going to help our industry so much, because when you try to do stories about ancient stuff, it's so hard to find video. So now we have stuff.
That's right.
All good. All good for us. All right, and the world. Thank you. Glenn